This is the graphic that we normally use to describe the portfolio overall. And in this slide, you can see the horizontals that we've got for project management with Prince2, which is probably the biggest and most well-known of the products. But projects often fit within a program. If they don't fit within a program, then they certainly fit within a portfolio. So at the program level, we've got managing successful programs. MSP is the usual abbreviation there, and that dovetails into Prince2. But overlaying all of those, we've got MOP, which is the portfolio management offering, management of portfolios. And therefore, in many respects, we've got a logical structure and a hierarchy going up the various levels. But you'll see from the slide that there are also some cross-cutting products that we've got. If we look at management of risk, for example, then there we can see that there are elements of risk management that will be applicable to Prince2, to MSP, and to MOP, and therefore it cuts across those horizontal products that we've got. MOR actually goes further than that because it will also deal with operational risks and therefore adds a different dimension to just the program, project, and portfolio management dimensions that we've got with the products. And it's probably then where it's pushing into the service management area and day-to-day operations or business as usual within an organization. We've also got something called Portfolio Program and Project Officers. This looks at the functions and services required to support the business and projects. And so again, it impacts on both Prince2, MSP, and MOP. And this would also cover any central functions providing guidance on standards or methods that an organization might have. And lastly, of course, we on the vertical side, we've got ITIL. This is service management and often is the interface between projects delivering outputs and business as usual in putting those outputs into operation, particularly in the IT environment. We've also got a very interesting product called Management of Value. And again, it applies to both the project, program, and portfolio level. And it's a very useful set of principles and approaches and techniques to help organizations understand which, in their list of projects and programs, gives them the most effective return for the costs in delivering the project. This is normally summarized in the next slide as being the balance of the satisfaction of needs, the benefits that the organization is going to derive, over the balance of the resources, expenditure that they're going to invest in delivering the project. And clearly it's about balancing those two and maximizing the value. Therefore, what MOV does is it enables you to derive the inputs for this particular equation. Just casting our minds back to the original slide showing the construction of all of the products. There were two products on the outside which I didn't mention, and those are two maturity models. Those are very different from all of the other products that we've got on that diagram in that they are not supported by training or qualifications. They are maturity models which enable an organization to look at how well it is doing for its service management or its change delivery. And I'd just like to spend a couple of minutes just going a little bit deeper into P3M3, if I may. P3M3 is on the PPM side of life, and it is very similar to the CMMI model in that it has a 5-level structure of awareness, repeatable processes, defined, managed, and optimized. But it is really comprised of 3 submodels: one for portfolio management, one for program management, and one for project management. Now, these can be used together or they can be used separately. Each of those 3 submodels is further divided into 7 perspectives. If we look at the diagram, then you can see the perspectives along the bottom. Management control is dealing with the internal control of the initiatives. Benefits management, looking at how benefits are predicted, realized, managed. The financial management, dealing with the release of money. Stakeholder engagement or stakeholder management, looking at the processes that the organization uses to engage with all of its various stakeholders regarding the project or program. Risk management, looking at how the risks are managed, what the risk appetite is for the organization, etc. Then we've got organizational governance. Now, this is often confused with management control, but this is really looking at how the organization selects the projects that it's going to undertake. And finally, we've got an element looking at resource management. And this is looking at all resources other than the purely financial money side of life. So this is people, this might be facilities, whatever other resources are required by the particular project. Earlier this year, we actually launched an online self-assessment to help organizations understand where they are within this 5-level model. You interestingly asked if these are standalone or do they operate together? And the honest answer is they're both. They've been designed to operate independently of each other, but they've also been designed to fit together. And the reason they've been designed in this way is that there are some organizations that may want to fit MSP into a non-Prince2 environment, or vice versa, and therefore they have to be able to stand alone, but they really do function very well together. I'm often asked, which one should I choose? Should I choose Prince2, or should I use something like PMBOK or one of the IPM qualifications, which in the UK, and the one I'm most familiar with, is the APM body of knowledge? And to me, in many respects, that's the wrong question. They are different, and I believe they're complementary. The body of knowledge approach provides islands of knowledge, but little linkage. And that's where Prince2 comes in. It comes in and provides that coherent, pragmatic approach to managing projects. I often describe this as being the body of knowledge gives the width, but not much depth, whereas Prince2 provides the depth, but isn't as wide. Together, they're even more powerful. And if you think about the MOU that we recently signed with the International Project Management Association, I think that shows our intent to continue to explore and demonstrate for the users how our methods fit with some of the other professional methods that are around. One of the tangible outputs from that MOU, and something that I'm struggling and striving to work on, is a white paper discussing Prince2 in the context of the IPMA competency baseline and what areas within the ICB that Prince2 also addresses, and therefore help users understand how the two can fit together.